Pickaxe.
Have you guys seen The Meg?
Yes.
Have you? What did you think?
It was a while ago, but I enjoyed it in a very, very silly way. I enjoyed it in the same way that when you and I went to see Rampage, we came out, and I think you sort of shrugged your shoulders, and I said, "Oh, that was all right," but in a stupid way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I watched The Meg too.
Oh, did you see? I've not seen The Meg 2, and I'd quite like to see it.
Have you seen the
Okay.
Meg 1, Ben, or have you just jumped straight into the sequel?
No, I've seen both Megs. I had a Meg. A Megaddon. What? I had a sort of back-to-back Meg party, and I watched both Megs.
A connoisseur of the MCU.
Exactly, precisely. I'm a big sort of unironic supporter of Jason Statham anyway, because I just think there's something special about him. He's a special man.
Yeah.
And he needs to be protected. And I like the shape of his head because it's sort of like a skull, like a cool skull.
Yeah.
Because his skin's so taut along it, and he's got that sort of 5 o'clock scalp shadow. Like he's a cool man, and he's got a great voice. And then he made 2 films about a big shark, and the second one definitely veers into almost like Chinese propaganda because it's all in like China, and there's so many Chinese actors in it, and it feels a bit. The Meg did well in the Chinese market, so let's put a lot more Chinese stuff in.
Okay. I was going to say, was it like, I was confused, like it wasn't made by a Chinese company, presumably. I was like, why would they do that? But yeah,
know.
if the first one did well over there, then that would explain why an American studio would Chinese it up, as it were.
Yeah, it's possible. I think they also thanked lots of Chinese entities in the credits because they shot on location and stuff. So
Right.
I don't know what the ins and outs of that is. But most excitingly for me is that he's got a new film that's just come out.
Right.
And it's called The Beekeeper, which I was really hoping was like him
the Meg.
continuing exactly him
giant
continuing the trend of Jason Statham, who's like, he's out of the game, he's retired, don't bother him, he just wants to be left alone, but then he gets pulled in for one last mission, except it's animal adjacent. And I thought animal adjacent, and I thought that maybe we'd get more like Jason Statham movies with just more animals in it.
With killer
Turns
bees.
out though, it's not about killer bees, which I was very disappointed about. He is a beekeeper in it, though.
Right.
And according to reviews, there's like loads of bee puns in it.
Oh, really?
And I'm really excited to watch it. It's on my watch list now.
Is Jerry Seinfeld in it?
I hope so.
You like jazz?
I really hope so. But yeah, I think he's a beekeeper who's just also really sick at guns, which
Right.
is peak Jason, really, isn't
Okay.
it?
It's a nice bit about being an action star and growing old, is that you get to have like more refined acting roles, where it's usually you getting pulled out of retirement from a nice job. And it's what an honor. I watched The Equalizer recently, which is in a similar vein of big dumb action films. And like never seen one before. Good fun though. It's the right amount of stupid. It's like it's dumb enough, but it's sophisticated enough to keep you chewing on it for more.
Sophisticated.
I like that in the film Piranha, or maybe one of the Piranha sequels, if there are any. I don't really know. I'm not a connoisseur of the PCU, unfortunately. But one of the Piranha films, they got the guy in who played the shark expert in Jaws. And although I'm sure they don't have the rights to that character, it's basically implied that that's him, and he's retired, and he's now like on a lake fishing. And I think in the opening scene of the film, he gets pulled into this lake and eaten by piranhas.
Oh, he can't catch a break, can he?
No,
That
he
guy?
can't. But also, I quite like the fact that because that actor happened to be in a shark film in the 1970s or whatever it was, he then, in the 2010s or whenever that was, landed this other role purely because they were like, oh, it'd be funny if it's him, wouldn't it? You know, anyone could have had that opening role of being the guy who gets eaten by the piranhas, but they were like, let's get the shark person from that shark film. I think that's
Surely that
nice
means
bit.
that it's in the JCU as well.
Well, yeah, I think perhaps. I think it is implied to be him by as far as they're allowed to take that and say that it's him. Yeah, that's how he dies. He survives the giant shark, retires, goes fishing, and then gets eaten.
Gets
What a
eaten by
shame.
piranhas. It's a tough way to go. I like to think that similar to the Kevin Bacon number, or what's it called? Is it the Bacon number?
Yeah,
Sorry?
what is it? The bacon factor or something.
Are you not familiar with this,
What
Mikey?
is going on? These are just words. Yes.
This feels like it would be right up your alley. There's like a database of people's sort of how far removed
6
they are from...
degrees of Kevin Bacon is what it's
Yeah, of how far removed they are from having worked with Kevin Bacon. And so every single actor has like a Bacon number. And if it's 1, they've worked with Kevin Bacon. And then how far removed they are in terms of having worked with other people who worked with Kevin Bacon, that's their Bacon number.
I reckon we're probably not as far off as we could be, because we've rubbed hands with YouTubers and stuff, so there must be some connection there. So we've probably got a pretty good Bacon number, if you want.
I would have thought so.
I think we probably do have a pretty good degree of separation to quite a lot of people who we've worked with, albeit briefly.
Peter Serafinowicz is, George Lucas right
Exactly, yeah. Darth Maul.
We've worked with Peter Serafinowicz.
No, we've worked with George Lucas, is what you're implying. We've been close enough.
Yes.
And that
Basically
opens up
best friends.
Ewan McGregor, Liam Neeson,
way back.
Jar Jar Binks, all of these people who we're 1 degree of separation from.
Absolutely. But I like to think that in a similar vein, there's a Statham number as well.
Right.
Because and in addition, because he always plays the same character in every movie, which is not a criticism, he's just found his niche and he's great at it. Just keep making silly action movies until the end of time, my friend. I would hope that the Jason Statham we see in The Meg is the same Jason Statham who's in the Fast and Furious movies, who's in the Beekeeper, the Equalizer. He's just like, it's always the same Jason Statham. He's just that good at being a cool man that he's got like different identities,
Yeah.
That's my hope anyway. I don't know if that's true. Also, you should watch Spy if you haven't. I think that's my favorite movie of his. I told you I'm a big Jason Statham fan.
you really?
Right? He plays basically a parody of himself. He's a spy who thinks he's really cool, but he's actually a complete idiot.
Oh.
And it's a Melissa McCarthy movie, and it's good. It's good. It's funny. I like it a lot. He's the best bit in it, but it's good. It's a good movie.
I've just found out that he's not in The Equalizer. I thought that's why you brought it up, Mikey.
I assumed he was.
It's in the same vein of big gunmen coming back for a job. Sadly, no.
Yeah.
Anyway, this podcast is sponsored by Jason Statham, I think, today.
By a delicious rasher of Kevin Bacon.
Yes.
Yum, yum.
Lovely.
Well, that's the sponsor done. Should we do the podcast?
Yes.
Yeah, might as well, I suppose.
Kevin, not Kevin Bacon. Kevin, let's have the
Actual
music,
Kevin.
please.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Podiots, the official Vidiots podcast. It's a conversational podcast where we take some questions from you at home and obey the law of the 3 Us, where everybody brings
A thing along to talk about.
I'm Ben.
I'm Peter.
And I'm Michael.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
You good?
Very good.
Yeah,
I quite like
very
our
well.
little call and response we do at the beginning with bring a thing along to talk about. It feels like I'm back in assembly in primary school.
Yeah.
Good
Everyone sing along.
morning, Mrs. Chapman.
Mrs. Who?
Chapman.
Oh,
you
you're
know.
doxing your
Chatman.
teacher now.
And good luck finding. Actually, no, that's totally made up. I desperately tried
Good
to
luck
remember.
finding her. Someone will.
Yeah. Oh, don't
Someone
be
will
googling.
find
I don't want my teachers to be pulled into this stuff. We've already pulled in enough D-list celebrities. Leave the teachers alone.
Oh, and
Pink
Reverend
Floyd.
Ian Waffle, or whatever his name was.
I fully doxed him. First name,
God.
last name. I don't think he's got much of an online presence, thankfully. So
No.
the church man is safe.
Jesus. Well, we'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of you who have followed us on our TikTok and Instagram, which is vidiots.official. As spoken about in the last episode, we're going to be posting clipiots there, clips from Podiots and legacy videos from Vidiots, as well as some images, behind-the-scenes images from that fateful year of 2018. The goal, of course, is to bring in new blood. By all means, though, go and check us out on there and share what we post and introduce us to new people. That would be
Tell
really
your friends,
helpful.
in fact.
Tell your friends. And, of course, it's run by Kevin, who has now returned from the dead. We don't know why. He's not allowed to talk about it, I don't think. But go say hi to him on those platforms. He's there. Operators are standing by.
Boperators. Yeah, he's
Stop
on
it.
Sorry. It's been a while since we've had a bop. Anything's been boppish,
Boperator.
so I had to get it in there.
Well, now that we've got an extra mouth to feed in the reanimated corpse of Kevin, people can support us as well, can't they, Ben?
They certainly can. If you go to podiots.com, donate £3 or more, you'll get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the next podcast. You'll join Pod Squad, you'll support what we do here, and would really bloody appreciate you. Mikey, can you kick us off before we get into the things?
We begin with Raindrop Joy. Caroline, where is the Lurpak? Oompa Loompa Doopa Dee's nuts. Nice. Yummy cummy in my tummy.
Oh.
The very generous Cool Beansed. And they say, hi boys, recently listened to the awful Arthur fanfic episode again and thought it would be funny to write one about you boys and or the characters from the VCU. Thoughts? Want a hilariously bad one? A super smutty one? Prefer I didn't? Anything goes.
I mean, the smutty would be the most funny, but also I don't know that I want to be that disturbed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel... Didn't Booth write some fanfic about us?
Oh god, I feel like she did.
Oh,
yeah.
Like
possibly,
way back.
yeah.
I think she may have done. Not sure. Citation needed. But... Or did she read some that she'd found? I don't know. I might be making that up entirely. But
Rings bells. But if you're going to write a fanfic, just make it like a nice day out in the park and maybe one of our hands accidentally brush against the other ones. That's as far as we'll take it. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
We continue with Mr. Macker and Isle of You.
Also, sorry, I wasn't ready. There is Frogley, Stephen Skodes, Gleddy Blebber's Dicknick Pick, Quaker Name Pickled Beetroot, Roy's Boys Soy Surprise, Everybody Poops, Neil Buchanan in D, and Adolf Ham Friend.
And finally, we have Anal Eruptions the Quaker, Wolfgang Amadeus Nut Moshart.
God.
That is a stretch.
Wow.
Blart Attack, Caroline Send Lift, I'm Stuck in Hull, Prince Beefcakes, and Yog Con D's Nuts. Some really good ones in there.
Really
That's your Pod
good.
Squad for this week. Podiots.com, £3 or more to get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the next episode. Thank you so much to our Pod Squad this week. Which was your guys' favourite?
Yog Condi's nuts. What is it? What is it to yog on something? I dare ask, but that's my favourite.
Doesn't bear thinking about.
I liked Oompa Loompa Doompa Dee's nuts, but also I was then really taken by surprise by Neil Buchanan in D. It's a cultured one, that as well. You know, it's not just a pun.
I will go with Wolfgang Amadeus Nut Moshart.
Yes, that's quite the tongue twister.
Just a lot of effort, and it was in camel case as well, so we could see where it was separated
Yeah.
into its
Yeah.
constituent pronunciation bits, which I approve of very much. Who's in charge of bringing along listener-submitted things this week?
It's me.
It's you.
I've done it. I've sent them out to you. And I can't remember who went first last time, but I'm going to say Ben Potter go first this time with your... Actually, no.
I think it may have been
That was
me,
you
actually.
last time, because I remember you asking if it was user-submitted or your own. So, Mikey, you give us your listener-submitted thing.
I'd be honoured. This one was sent in by Wallace, spelled differently to Wallace and Gromit, sadly, at WallyBob96. And this is an article from The Guardian, and the headline reads, Missing Monkey Trapped by Yorkshire Pudding in Scotland.
Oh.
Wow. So many turns.
We've got, a real string of creatures being trapped by delicious English people foods recently, and I'm a big fan of it.
Well, we have, because someone else sent this story as well, and they put in their tweet, in the reply, they put, there's been an update to Peter's missing monkey story, and it wasn't a monkey, it was raccoons last time. So
If you squint, they kind of look the same. I'll let 'em know.
there's a lot of missing animals out there right now, apparently.
Stay safe out there. Stay safe out there, kids.
Stay Statham.
Stay
out there.
Statham.
Yeah.
There we go.
Know what I mean?
I'm saying, I'm a geezer. Well, speaking of geezers, this geezer, the monkey, is called Honshu. The macaque.
Honshu.
Honshu. Honshu. Kind of like the noise you make when you're
lovely.
sleeping. Honshu.
Honshu shoo shoo.
I think that's one of the Japanese islands, isn't it? Honshu. I'll find
Sounds
out.
familiar.
Not first in Japan. It is.
It
Well
is.
done, Peter. Wow. Gold star for you. Honshu the macaque is on the run from Highland Wildlife Park and was brought down by a love of batter and a tranquilizer dart.
I was going to say, brought down sounds like a violent way to describe
He went out like
distracted by
Uncle.
food.
He went out by like Uncle Fatty, just comatose, unable to move after stuffing
Oh.
himself with butter.
Pray for
What a way to go.
Mojo.
I'm gonna send you a cheeky picture of the monkey here. Just, well, it's it's quite the image. It's a lady holding a phone with a picture of a monkey on it. There you go. And this is. Have you seen him?
Wow.
Is he my monkey? This is Stephanie Bunyan, who reported the monkey to Highland Wildlife Park after seeing it in her garden. Wow, look at you.
Ah.
2 pebbly droppings deposited on her patio are all that Stephanie Bunyan has to remind her of Thursday morning's celebrity guest.
What an opening line. 2 pebbly droppings are all she has to remind us.
Pebbly Droppings sounds like somewhere that a quaint English novel would be set.
It's where a children's TV program is set, isn't it? It's
64 Pebbly Droppings.
Yeah.
Who's this? I'm trying to think. Who's the celebrity most likely to leave behind pebbly droppings? Someone small.
Pebbly droppings.
Pebbly.
Warwick Davis.
There you go. Perfect. Nailed it. Honshu, the missing macaque, was finally captured in Bunyan's garden after 5 days and 4 nights on the run. And after drone search technology was rendered useless by blustery weather, in the end, it was the Yorkshire pudding that got him.
Yes, we will win there.
Makes me proud.
God bless the North. Bunyan likes to drink her morning coffee looking out to her peaceful terrace garden, which is decorated with tinkling wind chimes and boasts an array of bird feeders. There were peanuts in the feeders, but on Wednesday night, she put out some leftover Yorkshire pudding. In the morning, it was gone. And just after 10 a.m., there he was at the top of the steps looking in the window. I'd be overjoyed if I saw a monkey in my garden. Terrified, but absolutely overjoyed. You can have all the
Also,
yeah.
big question. How is it possible to have leftover Yorkshire pudding?
Yeah.
How's that happen?
Why have you not eaten it all immediately?
That's what it's for. Eating.
Yeah, the journalist
Can't get rid
Mr.
of that.
Trick here. I think the monkey's the main attraction. This is the first ever unfinished Yorkshire pudding. My God.
Goodness me.
The desire to the desire to capture her visitor on camera was powerful, but she knew she had to get hold of Highland Wildlife Park straight away. Within 10 minutes of a call to its dedicated monkey hotline, call now.
No. This has happened before.
Oh my God. Wow. I want to know about the monkey hotline. Like, is it just like call up and ask questions about monkey? Because surely not enough monkeys disappear from this place to warrant a monkey hotline. Maybe
Well,
Is it staffed?
I assume they set it up when the monkey went missing. There might even be a
Ah.
raccoon hotline in Sunderland.
I think you call up and you pick which monkey you want to talk to.
Yeah, maybe.
talk to Sandy tonight. Ugh, Sandy's not a good name for a monkey. Anyway, within 10 minutes of them calling the monkey hotline, the search drone operators had arrived, and minutes later, the park keepers. That's a rapid response. Try getting that kind of response from anything else.
Yeah.
By then, the macaque was hopping back and forth off the low roof of a sunroom and playing in the gutters. It took some time for the rangers to line up their desired tranquilizer dart shot. When one attempt failed, the macaque bit it and threw it away.
Oh,
Onion said,
whoa.
"Wow, he's a feisty one." But the next shot was true, and the doped monkey was whisked away for examinations by the park's vet. Oh. Honshu was captured in the hamlet of Inch, less than 2 kilometres from where he was first spotted exploring the back gardens of Kincraig, the village nearest the park. During that time, the lone monkey covered a considerable amount of ground, roaming 4 miles to the north of the park and gradually heading back in a homebound direction. He figured, yeah, he's had a taste of Yorkshire puddings, now he's ready to go back home. That's all he wanted. With the monkey often hiding in high vegetation and roaming through thickly wooded areas, thermal drone technology was essential to the search. One was lent to the Royal Zoological Society of Scotland by the Carnegor Mountain Rescue Team. Good Lord, there's a lot of infrastructure in the north. This is good.
A lot of escaped monkeys. That's the problem.
Oh, and they used this as a training exercise, I guess. So that's good. Get your money's worth out of a lost monkey. And another search was coordinated by Ben Harrower, local monkey expert. It doesn't say that, but what does it say? Who runs a consultancy that specializes in monitoring and tracking wildlife populations. Okay, interesting. In that mixed woodland, the thermal drone can see through that. In that mixed woodland, the thermal drone can see through that no problem, and we're able to track him several times. When the call came in from the resident, we deployed the drone to track him from there, and then the RZSS keepers came in, and the operation worked perfectly. God, they should have employed drones for the seagull stuck in Asda. It would have been over a lot for this team. Where's the seagull hotline?
Yeah.
We
use a tranquilizer dart on that as well. Wouldn't be the first person to be doped up in that Asda, would it?
Hey, there we go. We watched with the drone from afar, and he was hiding in the infrastructure of a house, sticking his head out, eating some nuts, and running back. Yesterday was a write-off because of the weather, but I'm glad we've seen it through to the end. Carl Nagel was one of the first residents to enjoy a visit from the monkey, getting awakened by his daughter on Sunday morning with the unexpected alert, "Dad, there's a monkey in the street." That's, shut up, kid, you're lying to me.
Monkey on the car. Fuck off.
He found the monkey investigating his back garden bird feeders, one of which remains bent out of shape from the monkey's efforts to extract some nuts. Come on, naughty, public damage, stop it. Mm-hmm. By the time rangers from the Highland Wildlife Park arrived with a couple of nets, the monkey had disappeared over Nagel's fence and the hunt ensued. Here, Nagel's involvement with the monkey ceased and his involvement with the ensuing media circus began. 5 days later, I've spoken to just about every media outlet there is. Whoa, you come on! You can't be there fronting camera if you're going to parade, like only do 1 day of hunting. You got to earn your place in the camera, my friend. I've been thinking why the world needed a story about an escaped monkey in the Highlands. Nagel added. I've watched a lot more news bulletins in the last week, and most of the news is really bleak viewing. It's not divisive, said his partner Tina. Everyone can rally round a missing monkey. Too true.
Yeah.
Not divisive. I want to see the House of Commons debate where Labour are saying we must capture this monkey alive, and the Tories are just saying, kill it, kill it.
the monkey.
Yeah.
Poison the Yorkshires. Poison the Yorkshires. Last bit here. Local traders have not missed the opportunity to capitalise on the simian hoopla. A local gardening supplies company has upgraded its advertising to include a macaque pushing a lawnmower. Excuse me, I want to see this.
For this flash in a pan story that happened for 5 days in 2024 and will be old news within a month.
It's forever changed the advertising landscape there. And a local hot tub services had a mock-up of a monkey enjoying the warm bubbles and, quote, living his best life. Nagel said a friend who works at the park had called him on Thursday morning to let him know that the escaped monkey had finally been found. 3 minutes later, the New York Times rang. Wow, what a story. Yeah, that's good. I'm all about, like, we've had a lot of naughty, rebellious animals. We had the whales capsizing boats, Asda seagulls stealing crisps, monkeys eating Yorkshire puddings.
The walrus that tossed himself off.
Yeah. Blocking people's driveways. That Neil the Seal, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see who's next in Noah's Ark of naughty scamps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Wallace, for sending that one in.
Thank you, Wallace.
Thank you, Wallace.
Ben, would you like to give us your Ben submitted thing?
I would love to. As you guys know, on actually, it's just gone because I wasn't sure when we were releasing this podcast when I chose it. But this week, it's been Pancake Day.
Oh yeah,
Right.
And didn't we all have a lovely Pancake Day this week?
I ate
When
7.
we had Pancake Day.
Yum,
I
yum.
thought I would bring along some interesting Shrove Tuesday, Shrove Thursday things that happen in the UK traditionally. Now, one of them, I'm fairly sure, has been covered by Mikey before, but I brought a couple of other ones as well. Okay. Mikey, do you remember the Atherstone ball game?
No.
Which is you might recognize it as I go on, but I think we have spoken about it. It's a medieval football game. That's what it says, hyperlinked. Played annually on Shrove Tuesday in the English town of Atherstone, Warwickshire. You remember now?
I do now, yeah. What a game. What a brutal sport. Great fun.
Yeah, there were a couple of these in different villages, apparently, in the UK. I was reading recently about at least 2 different such events in a book. Yeah.
Well, just a quick recap of this. It's a game that honours a match that was played between Leicestershire and Warwickshire in 1199 when teams used a bag of gold as a ball. So there are some rules. The game itself has a few rules, 2 being that play is restricted to Long Street and participants are not allowed to kill anyone. That's the most important thing. The winner is declared at 5 p.m, the title going to the person who has possession of the ball when the whistle sounds. There's a few photos that I'm going to send to you that are from the 823rd annual game.
Wow.
And not to pass judgment on people I don't know, but these fellas are some of the roughest looking blokes I've ever seen in my entire life.
They've definitely
that is a scary photo.
There. Oh my God.
Yeah, when the rules of the game, one of the only rules of the game is not to kill another person, then yeah, you need rough, tugged Jason Statham looking blokes to be part of that.
Oh my God.
Oh. Someone's got a massive black eye there.
Yeah, that second image.
In the background of this image, all the shops are boarded up. It's like, why? I get it's tradition, but this is bonkers.
I forgot that this is what the game was. I was thinking more of the those games where it's called like uppers and downers, and 2 ends of the village kick a ball. Like wherever the ball ends up at the end of the day, that one wins. It's just about getting it to the other end of the village. But no, this is just an excuse to have a fight. Really,
it is. I think people just get drunk and beat the crap out of each other. Yeah. But I've got a couple of other ones. This is an article from the BBC, and it's entitled Olney, the town where a pancake race is a global event. This is actually an article from last year. The market town of Olney in Buckinghamshire claims to hold the oldest annual pancake race in the world, dating back to 1445. Open to the ladies of Olney only, the race has endured a friendly rivalry with a small city in Kansas, USA. So what makes this pancake race so special? Well, I'm glad you asked. The people of Olney take their annual Shrove Tuesday pancake race very seriously indeed. Dubbed the oldest recorded in the world, I've already said this.
Yep.
I already said this. And the runs back to 1445 and the War of the Roses and has taken place every year since it was revived in 1948. Okay, so it actually hasn't been running every year at all.
That's missing like 500 years there.
Yeah, there's a few years that were probably missed. Even in the throes of coronavirus lockdown, a solitary pan-bearer dressed up and ran the 415-yard course in 2021 so the tradition wouldn't be broken.
Oh, that's nice. Because a lot of these things that have been going for like 100 years like did actually stop for a couple of years over COVID, which is a shame. Like these unbroken things. But that's nice that one person did it anyway.
I agree. But it has to be done right. There are rules. It's women only, and you have to have lived or worked in Olney for at least 3 months, says Ruth Martin of the Olney Pancake Race Committee.
And you are not allowed to kill anyone.
No killing. I'll send you a photo of this, and it's the loveliest looking people imaginable running this race. You have to wear a skirt, and you are provided with an apron and headscarf and a pancake pan, but you need to bring your own pancake. You toss it at the start, and you have to be able to toss it at the end. Taken out of context, that's very rude. The course is 415 yards or almost 380 metres, so it's not a quick dash. You need to pace yourself or you run out of steam, Miss Martin adds. And we've got various photos here. With the sounding of the church shriving bell, runners start from the pedestrian crossing by Olney Market and make their way to the church door of St. Peter and St. Paul's, a route that involves the closure of the main A509 through the town.
Oh.
And you can't enter the race if you've already won it 3 times, like the 2022 winner, Katie Godov.
Wow.
She's a legend.
Pancake tossing, yeah.
A legend in Olney. It then tells us what Shrove Tuesday is, and apparently Olney is also the town where Reverend John Newton wrote the hymn Amazing Grace. That's where that came from.
Amazing Race.
Amazing race, yeah. So let's talk about the sort of the rivalry between the Kansas town. More than 70 years ago, newspaper reports of the Olney Pancake Race also piqued the interest of officials in the city of Liberal, Kansas, who presented the Buckinghamshire town with a challenge. Liberal is the home of Dorothy's House, a museum replica of the Kansas home featured in the 1939 movie The Wizard of Oz. That's just a by the by. Since 1950, the two places have competed in their own transatlantic pancake race, recording their times and holding an international video call to present prizes. Liberal runners have so far won 39 races, with only playing catch-up with 31. Oh dear. The 2022 winner from Liberal was Whitney Hay in a time of 67 seconds. Olney's winner Katie Godov managed 70 seconds. Slow. Too slow. We link up on the evening of the pancake race and compare times. It's fiercely contested every year, Miss Martin adds. An ambassador for Liberal is coming over for the race this year, so we have a good reason to try and beat them this time. Would you like to see a photo of them running the race?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Let me find one. This is an old one. You can tell because it's in black and white. It shows that they've been doing it for ages.
I'd also like to see an image of these lovely, nicest looking people that you described earlier.
They just look the polar opposite of the medieval football game.
Look at them.
The dude at the front who's like, I guess, started the race with the bell is like desperately sprinting to get out of the way of these pancakes. My God.
They got to toss those pancakes.
Oh, don't they look lovely?
They do. They look so much lovelier, don't they, than those ruffians?
Not a black eye in sight.
No. It's not just a race, Miss Martin says. There's something so quintessentially Olney about it. Everyone will just pause in the middle of the day, literally stopping the traffic. We have a super community here. Everyone just comes together for that moment. Doesn't that sound nice?
Yeah.
What a lovely way to celebrate Pancake Day. Let's talk about witches instead, huh? How about some witch traditions? Witch. This is from Bedfordshire Live by, I can't pronounce that name. Anyone want to have a go at this? Here we go.
Sure.
How do you say that word?
Iona Tufexi?
Yeah, I'd say that.
Yeah.
All right, let's go with that then. The strange Pancake Day tradition where children gather on a Bedfordshire hill and listen for witches.
Ooh, I don't know about this.
Every Shrove Tuesday, an unusual custom takes place at a medieval mound in the village of Toddington in Bedfordshire. As the church clock strikes midday, school children lie down on the grass of Conger Hill, put their ears to the ground, and stay silent for a moment. They are listening to see if they can hear the witch frying her pancakes, and some of them do.
Oh my God.
The old custom of witch listening, which is capitalised, was revived in recent years by the local community, and the uptake was enthusiastic. This is the little story of the tradition. And then it says, find out virtual things to do with the widget below. I've got to enter my full postcode and I'll find out information near me. I'm not going to do that this time. No. Next time, though.
The widget. Sorry.
The mound called Conger Hill is said to hold a strange captive. The small man-made hill is what remains of a 12th century motte and bailey, a type of Norman castle. The lord of the castle, Sir Paulinus Pegur, Paul Peaver, it says in brackets, wanted pancakes, and so decided to keep for himself the best-known maker of Shrove Tuesday pancakes in the area, a witch.
Oh.
Since then, the pancake witch of Toddington fries her yearly batch deep inside her dungeon prison. The legend is shrouded in the mists of time, but it is believed that the custom of witch listening dates back at least 150 years. On Shrove Tuesday, the pancake bell was rung in St. George's Church to remind the women to make their pancakes. And then it says, a crocodile of children.
What?
Yeah, my physics teacher used to say this. We once got taken on a school trip and he said, I shall chaperone you in a crocodile fashion into the museum, which just means in a line, I think.
A sort of snaking, slaloming line, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. A crocodile of children would then leave the local primary school and head toward nearby Conger Hill. Once there, they really should be in a conga line, shouldn't they?
Yeah, they should.
Once there, they would put their ears to the ground and listen to the sizzling sound of the witch frying her pancakes inside the mound. The custom demised at some point in the 70s, but in 2011, the Toddington Old Boys Association decided to revive the custom after a former pupil from the 50s said that the witch was still there.
Oh.
The tradition has been going strong ever since. Every Shrove Tuesday, a surreal scene takes place, with Year 4 pupils lying around with their heads buried in the grass, keeping silent for a brief moment, and then giggling and chatting. Would you like to see them? This is before they're giggling and chatting.
Kids with their heads on the ground.
It just looks like everyone's having a nap on a hill.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
Got their wellies on.
There's a subsection here that says, So it's there a witch or not? Didn't notice that before. So it's there a witch or not? For the skeptics among us that might suspect that there might not be a witch in the mound, that is what we know. Maybe it's meant to say, here is what we know. Some children report that they can hear the sizzle of the pancakes as they fry in the pan, and the witch's evil cackle. Others, however, claim that it's just the ground. The M1 hurtling by nearby does not help either.
Right.
An unlikely explanation is that the sound pupils could hear. Stop it. Is that the sound pupils could hear in the past was merely the vibration on the ground caused by the bell ringing. Supernatural stories around old earthworks are not uncommon, and there are many mounds under which a witch, or even the devil, is thought to live. It then says, "Can I attend?" This year, unfortunately, the witch will be frying her pancakes up by herself, with the national lockdown still in place. Hopefully it's now open again. This is from a couple of years ago. So there we are. There's just a few interesting, weird, very old traditions, English traditions, around Pancake Day and Shrove Tuesday.
That's interesting. There's a very common like folk tale motif that appears all over the country in 10, 15, 20 different places, where a local tale is like, oh, there's a secret tunnel between this local landmark and this local landmark. Usually it's like the castle and the church or something like that. And once a man was sent through the tunnel playing his pipes, and people were interested in what route the tunnel took, so they followed it above ground, listening to the sound of the pipes. And halfway across, his pipes stopped, and he never came out ever again.
Oh, no.
And if you still listen to this day, you can hear his pipes or whatever, that. And it happens in loads of places. Sometimes his dog comes out with no fur on, which is very troubling.
That's a rat.
Yeah. Well, that's lovely, Ben. Thank you for those nice stories.
You're welcome. I just wanted to celebrate how much we enjoyed Pancake Day this week when it happened.
We did. So full of pancakes.
Yum, yum.
We chose to enjoy our Pancake Day either by brutally beating each other up in the streets or putting our head on a hill.
Yes. Yes.
Lovely. Well, I'm going to give you my listener-submitted thing now. It was sent by Greg Miller at GregMill2290 on Twitter. And I think someone might have submitted this for the previous podcast as well, because it's a sort of an ongoing story. But that tweet has now gone where we were asking for this question. So sorry that I can't give you your name. But thank you, Greg. So this is according to HuffPost.com. Pigeon suspected of being Chinese spy cleared by Indian police.
Thank goodness.
He escaped the allegations. Thank God. Wow.
The best part about this is that somewhere in the metadata of the article, I think there was originally a typo when they published this, and it's still in the webpage somewhere, because the embedded article on the actual Twitter post says that the headline is Pigeon suspected of being Chinese cleared by Indian police.
So it could just be a pigeon from China.
Yeah. So the suspected Chinese spy pigeon was detained for 8 months detention before being released into the wild on Tuesday. This is written by... It doesn't say, obviously, so maybe I'll see it later, but I can't see it right now. Indian police cleared a suspected Chinese spy pigeon after 8 months' detention and released it into the wild on Tuesday, news agency Press Trust of India reported. The pigeon's ordeal began in May when it was captured near a port in Mumbai with 2 rings tied to its legs, carrying words that looked Chinese. Police suspected it was involved in espionage and took it in, later sending it to Mumbai's Bhai Sarkarbai Dinshaw Petite Hospital for Animals. Eventually, it turned out the pigeon was an open water racing bird from Taiwan that had escaped and made its way to India. With police permission, the bird was transferred to the Bombay Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, whose doctors set it free on Tuesday. Mumbai police could not be reached for comment, but it's not the first time a bird has come under police suspicion in India. In 2020, police in Indian-controlled Kashmir released a pigeon belonging to a Pakistani fisherman after a probe found that the bird, which had flown across the heavily militarized border between the nuclear-armed nations, was not a spy. So they did a probe, decided it wasn't a spy. It was released. And in 2016, another pigeon was taken into custody after it was found with a note that threatened Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So I guess sometimes, those first 2 examples, it's like, okay, why are you still catching pigeons? I guess because every so often there is genuinely some sort of threat.
They've got their best men on it, and it's Dick Dastardly.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it a threat? I mean, like a little paper note attached to the
legs.
What's
the pigeon going to do?
Here's your
Modi.
Note. Bye.
I suppose you could attach some sort of surveillance equipment to a pigeon, potentially. But then you would have to hope that it actually lands somewhere useful. Like, it's not smart enough to know, I have to go find the embassy or, the local spy HQ.
Tucked under his wing the entire way is a little passport photo of his target, and he's desperately hunting around the town centre trying to find him.
And his own fake ID that says he was, born and raised in that country.
Not a spy.
No. There you go. A short story there, but it's all in the headline, really, isn't it? It's good.
I can't believe it took them 8 months to release him. Like,
it's great.
It's like, I don't know what they were expecting after the first week. Like, is the pigeon going to crack and spill secrets?
He's going to run out of battery soon. I mean, come on.
Perhaps
that must have been someone's job to feed and look after that pigeon. What a waste of resources.
Yeah, I know.
One of the nicer jobs to have at that place wherever the pigeon was detained, I feel like. Between looking after a pigeon and whatever else goes on there, I'd give the bird some seeds.
Well, there we go. So, Mikey, it's your turn again now.
Yes, and for this, I would like to enlist some help from one of you. If any of you happens to know anyone who could do a strong, good Yorkshire accent.
Oh, I know one.
Yeah?
Peter Austin.
It's Ben Potter. Oh, okay. No problem. I will help.
Thank you very much. This is... I wanted to find out the history of ferret legging.
What?
You find out
a bit
about
more context.
ferret legging, and as part of the process, I found this delightful interview with the strong Yorkshireman, who I think is currently the world record holder for the longest time of ferret legging. So what the heck's ferret legging? Let's find out.
What is it?
What is it? Ferret legging. It's coming.
Is it?
Yes, it's coming. You best believe it. A journalist travelled all the way from America to Barnsley, Yorkshire, to interview Mr. Reg Mellor, the king of ferret legging. He paces across his tiny miner's cottage as he explained the rules of the sport that he has come to dominate rather late in life.
Aye, lad,
said the 72-year-old champion.
No jock straps allowed, no underpants, nothing whatever. It's no good with tight trousers, mind you. Little bastards have been able to move around inside there from ankle to ankle.
Beautiful. That is like he's in the room with us.
Indeed. With a ferret down his trousers.
Oh, me bits.
So that's what it is then.
Yes, it's an endurance sport where you see how long you can last with ferrets down your pants.
Right.
Amazing.
Does the ferret enjoy it?
Yes.
Does the man
Loves it.
enjoy it?
I don't think anyone's enjoying this, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't know why they do it. The contest involves the tying of a competitor's trousers at the ankles and the subsequent insertion into those trousers of a couple of peculiarly vicious fur-coated foot-long carnivores called ferrets. The brave contestant's belt is then pulled tight and he proceeds to stand there in front of the judges as long as he can. Oh, God, I want to see this in person. There's some good videos of it on YouTube. It's exactly as it sounds. It's just a man stood there occasionally going, ooh, ow, and little bits of motion in his pants. It's a
No
sight to
jocks, no jockstrap allowed, no cup, presumably. So it could literally just bite his penis. If
Go
it
for the
wanted to.
Wilkins.
Oh, don't worry, we get into that.
Oh, God, all right.
The current record now stands at an awesome 5 hours and 26 minutes.
God.
The title is held by Dickless Joe.
I don't know what you were expecting. I was expecting like half an hour at most, maybe, but 5 hours 26.
That just... What a waste of a day.
Yes, pretty much. This was a mark that was reached last year. I think this I should point out. Yeah, this article's a New York Post article by Donald Katz. This was written in 2014, so that was like 11 years ago now that he changed the record. I've lost my place.
They're writing about monkeys now, the New York Post. Or New York Times, wasn't it? I think, got in touch, didn't you say?
Yeah. It goes from ferret to monkey. You never know what's coming next.
Yeah.
From a dark and obscure past, the sport has made an astonishing comeback in the past 15 years. The world record once stood at a mere 40 seconds of keeping them down, as they say in ferret-legging circles. A few years later, the dreaded 1 minute mark was finally surpassed. Wow. The current record now stands at the awesome 5 hours and 26 minutes, reached last year by the gaudily tattooed 72-year-old little Yorkshireman with the waxed military moustache who now stood 2 feet away from me in the middle of the room, apparently undoing his trousers.
Oh, good.
Oh, okay. The ferrets must have a full mouth of teeth. No filing of the teeth, no clipping, no dope for you or the ferrets. What? No dope? You must be sober and the ferrets must be hungry, though any ferret will eat your eyes out even if he isn't hungry. So then, lad, any more questions before I put a few down? Put a few down for you.
Before he puts a few ferrets
Is he going to put some in the journalist's trousers?
Thankfully, no. He chooses to put...
in his own taxi.
Come on, this is a dangerous endeavour. You don't want to just risk journalists' lives with ferret encounters.
Right.
The journalist replies, "Yes, Reg."
Aye, what then?
Well, I think people in America will want to know, since you don't wear any protection, and I've heard a ferret can bite your thumb off. Do they ever,
You really want to know what they get up to down there, eh? Well, Take a look.
Reg Meller then let his trousers fall around his ankles. Oh, yeah. Take us to the gun show. Reg Meller, a man who has been more intimate with ferrets than many men have been with their wives, calls ferrets...
Cannibals, things that only live to kill, that'll eat your eyes out to get at your brain.
At their worst, and...
untrustworthy.
At their very best. I feel like Reg is... I feel like Reg is painting a bad picture of ferrets here. Mine aren't like this, probably because I don't put them down my trousers.
Yeah, I think that probably it pisses them off a bit.
A little bit. Well, maybe not, actually, as this next bit goes on to say. Because, he used to... because a cold and wet ferret exterminates with a little less enthusiasm than a dry one, Reg used to keep his ferrets in his pants for hours when he hunted in the rain. And it always rained where he hunted. So maybe this is like, there's a hint of doing a favour to the ferrets here. It's a portable storage solution. Get yourself some ferret legs now.
Because back in the day, like originally ferrets were bred you stick them down like rabbit holes and stuff and they chase stuff out of the burrows so that you can hunt. So I guess when he was out working his ferrets, they would go in his trousers and it just became a sport from there.
Amazing.
The world record was 60 seconds. 60 seconds? I can stick a ferret up my ass longer than that.
Oh, for God's sake.
I'm glad to say there's no written evidence of Reg Mellor ever doing that. I think he's just talking the talk.
Good.
And so, at age 69, Reg Mellor found his game. As he stood in front of me now, naked from the waist down, Reg looked every bit a champion.
So, look close.
He said again. His legs appeared cross-hatched with scars, but I refused to look close, saying something about not being paid enough for that. Come on, Reg, I said. Do they bite your, you know?
Do they?
He thundered with irritation as he pulled up his pants.
Why, I had 'em hanging off me.
Reg stopped short because a woman who was with me, a London television reporter, had entered the cottage. I suddenly...
I did the wrong inflection in that case. Why, I had them hanging off my...
Reg stopped short because a... There we go, perfect, nailed it, high five. Reg stopped short because a woman who was with me, a London television reporter, had entered the cottage. I suddenly feared that I would never know from what the raging ferrets dangle. Then he said to her...
Are you cheeky, love?
Oh.
My friend looked confused. Say yes, I hissed. Yes.
Why?
Reg roared again.
I've had 'em hanging off me tool for hours and hours and hours. 2 at a time, 1 on each side. I've been swelled up as big as that.
Reg pointed to a £5 coffee can of instant coffee.
Oh,
God.
Reg.
Stop it.
Come out of there, you bastards.
Reg yelled as he flailed around the inside of the hut, looking for some ferrets that had just arrived a few hours earlier. He emerged with 2 dirty white animals. They both had fearsome, unblinking eyes, as hard and as red as rubies. Oh, man. Reg finally got me to take one of the ferrets while he tied his pants at the ankle and prepared to put him down. A young man named Malcolm with a pink haircut came into the yard on a motorbike. You putting him down again, Reg? Malcolm asked. Reg
is up to his old tricks again.
Reg took the ferret from my hand and stuck the beast's head deep into his mouth. Oh, yuck, Reg, said Malcolm. This is quite a nice little passing encounter during this whole thing. Now we're finally at the ferret legging. Woohoo!
Woo!
Reg pulled the now quite embittered looking ferret out of his mouth and stuffed it and another ferret into his pants. He cinched his belt tight, clenched his fists at his sides, and gazed up to the grey Yorkshire sky in what I guessed could only be a gesture of prayer. Reg Mellor gives all the money he makes from ferret legging to the local children's home. As with all great champions, he has also tried to bring more visibility to the sport that has made him famous. I wonder how famous he actually is. It took quite a bit of searching to find his name, but now you lot all know about him. We're spreading the good word of Reg Mellor.
That's true.
One Mellor innovation is the introduction of white trousers at major competitions because it shows the blood better. God.
Oh.
Dearie me.
Reg.
Mellor is a proud man. Last year he retired.
Is he?
But, you see, he's been wronged and he doesn't like being wronged. Last year he retired from professional ferret legging in disgust after attempting to break a magic 6-hour record. The 4-minute mile of ferret legging. After 5 hours of having them down, Mellor found that almost all of the 2,500 spectators had gone home. And then during his world record attempt, workmen came and began to dismantle the stage around him, despite his protestations that he was on his way to a new world record.
Jesus
What a
Christ.
scene! Oh, dear. One of the ferrets in Reg's pants finally poked its nose into daylight before any major damage was done, and Reg pulled out the other ferret. He said he had been coaxed out of retirement early, and he intends to break 6, maybe even 8 hours within the year. And one last line, Peter, if you could.
You've just got to be able to have your tool bitten and not care,
said the king.
Put that on his gravestone.
There is a fantastic like old school BBC News interview with him, and it's just exactly what you see. And it's this sleepy little village, and he just goes into his back garden. He's got a hutch filled with ferrets, and he's like a proper old looking man, and just starts shoving them down his trousers on camera. And there's a few points where they bite his bits, and he responds quite fearfully. And it's just,
it feels cruel.
Feels
to the
very
ferret.
cruel. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was another interview where it's like, do the ferrets enjoy it? And they just went, nope.
They wouldn't bite if they did.
A couple of minutes is fine, but 6 hours, that's bloody hell, guys. Good God. Yeah. If anyone's feeling particularly bored and they want to break a world record, maybe find a different one, because that's a lot. That was too much.
You're not going to want to do that.
I love that, like, he presumably was on stage because he was aiming to break the 6 hour mark, but they still had not booked long enough of a slot for the workmen were coming to dismantle the stage before the 6 hour mark. Like, that's just bad organization, isn't it? Like, they should have had a set time. If he's broken the record, he'll have done it by 7 o'clock. So don't take it apart until then. But
I think maybe they were just taking pity on him and was like, oh, this is quite sad. It's 4 hours in now and no one's still here to watch it. Let's just, we can just say he did it and call it a day. Get back home to the ferrets, Reg. Yeah, thank you very much. That was not really a history of ferret legging, but just a glimmer into a weird world.
Thank you.
Very
Mikey.
weird. Thank you, Mikey. Ben, it's time for your next thing.
Yes, this thing was submitted on Twitter by Heather McNair at My Room Friend, and the article is from the Daily Star. Boo! Written by Kim Carr, and the headline reads, Chuckle Brothers legend horrified as home haunted by toilet flushing ghost.
Excellent.
Oh, no.
This is precisely up our niche. Isn't it?
It is. A lot of famous
Properly
bums have sat
our
on that toilet.
Kids telly legend Paul Chuckle found it no laughing matter to learn his home was being haunted by a murderer who was spontaneously flushing his toilet.
A murderer? It's gone up as
Excuse me.
It's the stakes are higher than they were a minute ago.
Yeah.
The team from Celebrity Help My House is Haunted visited Paul's 3-bed 17th century barn conversion in Nottinghamshire, which he shares with his wife Sue. Paul says, my wife and I heard sounds like a child giggling through the wall, and one night I saw a child at the end of the bed. A few days after that I went to the downstairs loo and saw a little hand mark on the wall. It had been flushing itself. Why is it a murderer?
Excuse me, yeah.
Upon investigating, should be a comma, the paranormal experts contacted the spirit of a child named Daniel, thought to have been murdered by 1870s burglar Charles Pace, the ghost of Pace himself, and this article is appallingly
Daily
written.
Star. That's what
Hang on.
it is.
I'll read it as it's written. Mm-hmm. Upon investigating, the paranormal experts contacted the spirit of a child named Daniel, thought to have been murdered by 1870s burglar Charles Pace, the ghost of Pace himself, and the spectral of his lover Sue Rayner, who turned him into police. Full stop, then the letter M. Paul says Pace probably came because Asu moved back in the building.
Because and what? Asu?
Because Asu moved back in the building and she's with some other fella. It was amazing to find out, full stop, no space. The house is 380 years old. They were barn conversions, so there's a lot of history. So he thinks because Charles Pace had a lover, Sue, and which Chuckle is this? Paul. Paul Chuckle's wife is called Sue. The ghost is confused.
Right.
Because Asu
and so it's
has
flushing the
in.
toilet.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make any bloody sense, does it, Paul?
No.
Keep scrolling. Charlie was a bit of a multi-murder, not murderer. And since she was dobbing him in, he killed Sue and the little boy who caught them at it in the loft, which is where our bedroom is now. At the end of the episode, a camera light with full battery switched itself off as the team played back the Alice box, a gadget used to record the voice of spirits. Hang on. I've got to click a button to continue reading. Jesus, it's loaded a different bloody page now. Hang on, I've got like 12 billion adverts for Tesco popping up. Bear with me.
God bless modern journalism. This is just a write-up of a TV show episode.
This is a recounting of a TV show episode. Here we go. It translates ghost voices into words. Does it, though?
Yeah.
Does it actually do that? It translates ghost voices into words to say the other half of the Chuckle Brothers' famous Chuckle Vision catchphrase, to me, to you.
Wait, what? So the ghost says to you?
Yeah.
This sentence is a particularly challenging one. I'll read it again. It translates ghost voices into words to say the other half of the Chuckle Brothers' famous Chuckle Vision catchphrase, to me, to you, after Paul called it out to his late sibling. What?
Oh, so now they're checking for the ghost of Barry.
I don't know.
There's about 3 ghosts here already.
The star has also revealed the spirit of his late comedy screen partner, brother Barry, who died in 2018, jumps into him when he now performs solo. Right, so what are we even talking about at this point?
And surely you should have introduced the notion that Barry's ghost is floating around before you said Paul shouted the words to me, to you. I thought he'd gone into this.
What is happening? I don't understand.
So he's trying to talk to the ghost from many, many years ago, probably before the Chuckle Brothers show, by saying the Chuckle Brothers fucking catchphrase to them. This is incredible.
Paul says...
No, I don't think he is. I think that's the point. But it's written as though they're looking for this 18th century murderer. And he says, to me, to you. Oh, God.
It does elaborate a little bit now. Paul says, when I said to me, the spirit box said to you, so he probably was there.
Okay.
Somebody said many years ago they thought the spirit of our dad, who was a comedian, jumped into Barry's body as soon as he walked on stage because of the way he changed. I feel when I go on stage now, Barry jumps into my body and we're together working as one. It's a great comfort. It's 5 years now and people still come up to me and say, sorry about your brother. He was most people's favourite in Chuckle Vision. We were the best of mates as well as brothers.
Oh, God.
The Chuckle family are becoming like a great big Russian doll, aren't they? Their dad is in Barry. Barry is in Paul. What next?
Spooky goings-ons have followed Paul and Sue around the years. He says when her mother passed away, she went around to clean for her dad in the summer. The house was freezing and there was a strong smell of cigarette smoke. Her mum used to smoke, but her dad didn't. She cleaned what was her mum's bedroom and closed the door. Her dad used to leave it open. What? As she turned around, the clock in the hallway flew off the wall, missed her and hit the floor. Was as if her mum was saying, open my door, I want to see what's going on. That's the end of the article.
Right, so she could throw a clock off a wall but not open the door for herself. Is that what we're supposed to believe?
I don't... Yeah. This article... I mean, I know it's the Daily Star and that, but this article is horrendously written.
It makes me
really
think
bad.
I could be moonlighting as a Daily Star writer and just shit out anything I want in about 6 minutes, submit it, and they'll pay me for it.
Fucking letters missing.
Yeah.
And there's no space between punctuation. They use the wrong words as well. Mm-hmm. This bit, sorry to go back to it, but where is it? This bit here. The ghost of Pace himself and the spectral of his lover. That's not right.
Neither is...
I think you mean the spectre.
Yeah.
And I don't think really multi-murderer is really the phrase, is it? Serial
it's not
killer,
murderer.
maybe.
Also, I love the phrase...
It wasn't even multi-murderer, Peter. It was multi-murder. Charlie was a bit of a multi-murder.
Yeah, I love that phrasing as well. He was a bit of a multi-murder.
Yeah.
What does
Not
that
full
mean?
multi-murder.
Anyway, I hope they work out what's gone on in his barn. I suppose.
Yeah, me too. I hope this kid leaving handprints on the wall and flushing the toilet will, if Paul walks in and sees another handprint and says, oh dear, it might go, oh dear, oh dear.
Yes, it might.
It knows all the Chuckle Vision phrases.
Wow, what a fucking journey that was.
Oh, goodness me.
Thank you for getting through that. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, well done. Right, well, I've got a little bit of a game for us to play to finish off today's podcast. You can all play along at home. This is something that was doing the rounds in early January, actually, and I added it to my list of things to bring along, but then I've just had other things to bring in the meantime, so it's a bit of an old one. But this was tweeted by Joe Grady at Dr. Joe Grady on Twitter, General Secretary of the University and College Union at UCU, apparently. It seems that Joe is into quizzes, pub quizzes. I don't know whether Joe hosts them or competes in them, but Joe has posted a picture, and it's got 21,000 likes, and the caption is it a cheese or is it a motorway service station?
Okay.
Amazing concept for a quiz round. And I have her 10 questions here. Cheese or motorway services? And we're going to play at home. I'll read all 10 for you now, and then you can decide afterwards. So, Broxton, Trowell, Tunworth, Stitchelton, Old Inns, Bowland, Chevington, Pont Abraham, Gordano, and Derby. So, those are the 10 cheeses or motorway service stations. So, Ben and Mikey, Broxton. Do you think we're talking about Broxton services or Broxton cheese?
I'm trying to imagine like all these as potential cheeses. Imagine Broxton's like a very hard cheese that you grate almost. But
I'm going to take a swing, Mikey, and say that is a cheese. I don't know.
I'm going to go for cheese as well. It just feels cheesy to me.
Apologies to the listeners of Broxton.
Well, it is unfortunately a service station on the M90.
So. God, what brand is it? Is it a Moto?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Do you want me to look them up as we go? I'll tell you.
Let's see what ratings they've got.
Broxton services. They've got a harvester, seemingly. It's part of the Motor Fuel Group. I don't know if that's the brand.
It's like a little independent one.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, wow. There's a website called Motorway Services Online, apparently.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a McDonald's and a harvester, and that's it. It's a 2 out of 5.
Right. Okay. Well, never mind. Maybe they sell cheese. This is number 2. Trowel. Trowell. Is it trowel services, or could you have a nice lump of trowel?
Trowel feels service stationy to me, I think.
That is a service station. I think I've been there.
It is. It's on the M1. Trowel services is a moto.
Ooh.
There you go.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we like motos.
Love a moto.
M&S in it usually.
Burger King.
So, number 3, are you stopping at Tunworth services, or are you spreading a nice bit of Tunworth on a cracker?
I think I'm stopping at Tunworth services.
I think I'm going to dine on some Tunworth cheese.
Mikey, you're dining on soft cheese originating from the Duke of Wellington's estate. Tunworth cheese.
Oh.
Yum, yum.
Nice.
Damn it.
Number 4, Stitchelton. Stitchelton.
I mean, that does just sound like a cheese, doesn't it?
It's a cheese.
Is it a misdirect?
I think it's just too cheesy sounding to be a cheese.
I'm going to say services.
Yeah, I'm going to go services too.
It's an English blue cheese.
Oh, damn it.
Guys, you knew it was, and you overthought it.
Fuck.
We're now on to number 5, Old Inns. So it's 2 words, and inns as in pubs. Old Inns. Is it services or cheese?
My heart's saying services, because Old Inns, that stands to reason. Maybe back in the day used to be some pubs there, like a little stopping ground between cities.
Maybe.
But they also made cheese there. I don't know. I'm guessing cheese.
Probably.
I'm going to guess cheese this time.
This one is a service station on
Bollocks.
the M80.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Can't see what brand it is, but they've got a Shell petrol station. So, wonderful. Number 6, Bowland. Is it cheese or is it Bowland services?
Oh, man. This is hard.
It is, isn't it?
Cheese.
I'm going services because I just picture a family in a car. Like, oh, let's stop at Bowland. Get refreshed.
It is some Lancashire cheese. Well done, Ben.
Hey!
Number 7, Chevington. Chevington.
Delicious.
Chevington services
Delicious
or cheese and
Chevington.
cheese?
Lovely slice of. No, I don't think that's cheesy though. I don't think Chevington's a cheese.
Yeah, I know Cheveley has a services.
Cheese.
Okay.
Sounds like Cheveley. So I'm going to go
It might
with
be pronounced Chevington, if that helps. I don't know if
Possibly.
that makes a difference, but
I'm going to go with service station again, please.
Yes, services.
your services, Mikey.
Yeah.
It is a semi-soft and mould-ripened cheese.
Ooh, Chevington.
Mold ripened services.
Semi-soft. It's tricky, this, isn't it? There's 3 left. Number 8 is Pont Abraham, like Point Abraham, but Pont.
Abraham sounds like a good family cheese name. Like a long
does,
line
doesn't
of
it?
cheesemakers, the Abrahams.
I bet it's delicious as well.
I am just looking at these cheeses as we go, and they do all look very good. But I'm going to say this one's a cheese.
Yeah, I'm going to go cheese as well, please.
It's an M4 service station.
Oh,
What?
God.
Come on.
No. I think they've literally picked the cheesiest service stations and the service station-y cheeses for this quiz.
I bet someone makes cheese there.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, you could have called this cheese or petrol, this game.
Oh, no. Cheese or petrol? Come on. Well done, Mikey. Number 9, Gordano. Is it cheese or petrol?
Oh, that sounds so cheesy.
Yeah. We've been burnt before, though. Do we trust that it's cheese and go for it, or do we second guess it?
I'll go cheese. I'll go cheese.
I'm going to go cheese as well. Has to be.
It does sound very cheesy, but it's an M5 service station.
Oh, it's all on the M bloody 5. What's going on with their cheesy names?
I know. Gordano is... I don't know what brand. Oh, a welcome break. Oh, that's nice.
They're all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's no moto, but you know.
What's Pont Abraham? I'm sure everyone really needs to know what brand. Oh, it's a
Maybe
road
someone's
chef.
driving on the M5 right now and they want to
Yeah,
know.
exactly. In fact,
Road
statistically,
chef, that's not fucking services. It's a
Well-
lay-by.
it's Road Chef Pont Abraham apparently, and it looks like a service station. It's got a building anyway.
Building.
It's got a Wikipedia page as well.
Whoa.
It has come under regular criticism for high fuel costs. Oh,
There's an entire section called The Murders.
and bad cheese. Number 10, the last one, Derby. Is it Derby Services or Derby Cheese?
Surely both, right?
Oh, yeah, I know there's a Derby Services, but I don't know if there's a Derby Cheese. I'm going to go with what I know and say that's just a service station, but I would...
I'll say cheese.
You could go... Do you want to go big? Could say it's both? Is it that kind of game?
I'm playing
You say
both
what you
sides,
like.
so I always win. I'll just go cheese. I'm going to go cheese on this one.
What did you say, Mikey? Sorry.
I was going to say, do you want to say it's both cheese and a service station?
No, I mean,
But
what was your guess?
I said...
Or are you saying both?
Fuck it, I'm saying both. I'm going to say it's both.
That's not fucking fair, but all right.
Well, it's not, but on the paper, on the sheet, it just says cheese. But I agree with you, and I thought there must be a Derby Services, and
So I'm right
I mean,
then.
there is, seemingly.
It's a cheese. I win. No need to look it up.
But it's
fine.
a cheese. It's a mellow cow's milk cheese from Derbyshire. But apparently there's a Derby welcome break on the A50. Although maybe it's technically not called Derby Services. It might be called something else. Shardlow, by the looks of it. So maybe that's why that's the distinction. But there we go. There were apparently 10 points available there. I don't know if it's just 2 for being right, or if you guess that it's a motorway service station, then you get a bonus point for guessing the motorway. But we weren't keeping score, so that's all fine. I hope you enjoyed that. There's some funny
did.
replies in the in the replies of that tweet of people saying someone did prog rock bands or foreign language idioms, including playing chess with the Pope and meanwhile back in communist Russia. So that's good. And yeah, various people posting their own kind of similar similar formats. Real ale or real ailment.
Ooh.
Laughing death. Exploding skull.
Oh man, that's difficult.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I don't know the answers to those, but
I mean, Fright or Sprite. That's another one.
Indeed, yeah. There you go. That's the end of the game.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Peter.
You're welcome.
Well, thus concludes all of the things we have for you this week. Thank you so much for listening/watching. Don't go anywhere just yet because we've got a few things to talk about before we go. We'd appreciate it if you stayed until the end of the class. Thank you. It's rude to leave early. Mikey, I believe there's some sort of shop.
You're darn tootin'. If you head over to vidiotsofficial.com and click on that lovely, enticing little shop button, you will be greeted with a bounty of goodies, including hoodie, hats, t-shirts, and some stickers. It's lovely stuff. Go check it out. Go treat yourself this Valentine's Day or Pancake Day. Maybe you need
Pancake Day.
Maybe or your clothes got bloody after putting some ferrets down your trousers or doing the bloody big football race through your town. Yeah. A better place to stock up. Vidiotsofficial.com and click on shop.
Great idea. We are on Instagram and TikTok at vidiots.official. We're on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all.com/vidiotsofficial. Our Discord is vidiotsofficial.com/Discord. Thank you to Tommy and Fleckers for modding us over there. Twitch.tv/vidiotsofficial. Once again, I think I gave this warning like 3 months ago. I believe currently there is a plan for me to stream on the 9th of March. So not too long to go, just under a month. I'll talk about it again a bit close to the time. But that Twitch account will be used again soon, hopefully. Podiots.com. If you go there, donate £3 or more, you get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the next podcast. You join Pod Squad and you support the things that you enjoy. And we really, really appreciate it. Here, again, is your Pod Squad for this week.
Raindrop Joy. Caroline, where is the Lurpak? Oompa Loompa Dooper D's nuts. Yummy Cummy in my tummy. The generous Cool Beans. Mr. Macca and Isle of You.
We've also got Frogly, Stephen Skodes, Gleddy Blebbers Dicknick Pick, Quaker Name Pickled Beetroot, Roy's Boys Soy Surprise, Everybody Poops, Neil Buchanan in D, and Adolf Hamfriend.
And finally, we have Anal Eruptions the Quaker, Wolfgang Amadeus Nut Moshart, Blart Attack, Caroline Send Lift, I'm Stuck in Hull, Prince Beefcakes, and Yogcon D's Nuts. Thank you so much, Pod Squad, of this week. Podiots.com, £3 or more to get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the next episode. Peter Austin.
Yes.
What came out on Vidiots 6 years ago this week?
Flipping everything. Loads of stuff. We started with Worst Games Ever, Prison Break, The Conspiracy. There was then a video after that called Welcome to Vidiots. Don't really know why they came out in that order, but never mind. In the Spotlight, Crossing Souls has been copyright matched and is ineligible for monetization.
Let's go.
Why?
So, I guess the developer or publisher has put their footage on the bot, on the thing.
Assholes.
Vidiots Welcome and Q&A Extravaganza, Post Some Tat number 1, Prove It Cooking Mama Part 1, The Paris Vlog, Le What's Next Defocus 2018, Memory Cards Episode 1, which was for February the 12th, including State of Emergency, Aliens, Cloning Marines and the Game Boy Advance SP, Prove It Cooking Mama Part 2, In the Spotlight for Vampire and Greedfall and Call of Cthulhu, all of which we saw in Paris, Post Some Tat number 2, We've Got Stickers, the Nintendo Labo video that we did as well. God, we did a lot early on, didn't we? And Prove It Cooking Mama number 3. Oh, and then also up to and including today, In the Spotlight for A Plague Tale Innocence.
Yes.
6 years ago, we started Vidiots. This is the perfect time to commence an annual rewatch of the full year of Vidiots. You can either binge it all in one go, or you can watch it as the videos came out. We'll keep you up to date, but obviously, it's this podcast fortnightly, so you're not going to get updates very often. I just go on the channel, see when it came out, and go on. Treat yourself.
Binge it all in one night. Every single Vidiots video. All of it.
Yeah, go on. Dare you. Mikey, where are you on the internet, please?
at parrotboy on Twitter and Instagram. That is the best place to keep up with me these days.
And Peter, where are we?
We are at that Peter Austin and at confused_dude on Twitter, but you can find us doing work together at Team Triple Jump on YouTube and Twitch, where we play video games and talk about video games and play bad video games and all sorts of other things as well.
Certainly. Why not leave us a 5-star review on your platform of choice? It helps something to do with Al Gore's rhythms, and we'd really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, those of you who have done that already. What is the final question before we go home?
How long do you think you could keep a ferret down your trousers?
80 hours. I theoretically
80?
I could test.
All right, go on then.
Do it.
Started
Do it
it
now.
all right. Tuck
do
me
it now.
trousers into me socks. Come here, ferrets. It's time to go. Doing me trousers.
He's off. Mikey's gone. He's gone to do it.
Yeah.
Well-
Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye, Mikey.
I hope you're
Bye.
wearing white trousers to show the blood.
Oh no, of course. It's the only way to do it.
All right. See you, Mikey. Good luck
Bye,
with
Mikey.
your challenge.
Thank you.
I assume he's gone. Peter, thank you for doing Podiots with me today. It's been lovely.
It has.
And we will see all of you again in a couple of weeks' time. Look after
Indeed.
yourselves. Bye.
Bye.